Hello and welcome to another update on Bitcoin. I was actually not planning to make another Bitcoin video update, but I think latest price action kind of demands it. I mean, it's not necessarily a surprise. What's happening right now, we already saw earlier today that the market should dip towards 99K. We have to see how this settles now, because there has obviously been a catalyst that kind of accelerated this move down now, but we already saw earlier today that this move to the downside is likely going to unfold. So again, shouldn't be a great surprise if you followed the previous video update, or if you're following us on X, or if you follow the member channel on Discord, because the communication was that we're likely moving towards 99K. This only really affects the smaller time frame. Okay, it only affects the smaller time frame, and here it's obviously important to stay up to date. That's why we provide a lot of intraday updates, but larger time frame unchanged. Okay, larger time frame unchanged. I even posted earlier today that we need to remember this is still a larger uptrend, but we're short term likely going to see the blue zone. Now we'll talk about resistance as well, so I'll tell you when I will change my view here. Again, catalyst, yeah. There's some nasty stuff going on in the world. So this is kind of a news-driven, well, it's a catalyst, okay? We already saw earlier today, a few hours back, that we're likely going to move to 99K before all of this kicked off, I believe. That was posted as well on X just 4 hours ago. At the moment, price action favors the white scenario, which could open the door to 99K, okay? But the larger trend is still up. But remember, microstructures are just short-term guides. But yeah, price reacted earlier today to resistance, and it looked as if we would start the move down. Now, question was from one of the followers here, but we haven't broken below the red line. Yeah, Magda asked. Well, that was true, but it's not necessarily about breaking invalidation. I mean, that was further confirmation. At the latest, if you followed, for example, the upside pattern, if you were trading that, at the latest, this was the stop out point, yeah, which would have protected you. But it was already a bit late. So we saw it beforehand because the rally from the intraday low was a 3-wave move up, and we got rejected in the resistance area. So that's the whole purpose of tracking these micro patterns, so that we're getting early signals. But yeah, the idea is now we could be moving down in a third of a third wave internally within that C wave. And we have to see where this settles. Yeah, this is important. Now, there are some liquidations going on. Nothing major, okay? I mean, Bitcoin is showing 1.6% down. This is not like a 5% crash or something. So please don't panic or anything. What is important to note, though, is that a lot of the altcoins are breaking their setups, which means we're back to altcoin mess, okay? So they could not sustain their potentially bullish structures, and therefore, yeah, I'm not sure. We will need across the sector new evidence for a low. Some are still holding, but across the sector, we will need small 1-2 setups to the upside. Until then, the local trend is down. Here, Bitcoin as well, local trend is down. As long as we stay below 105,836. Why is this important? This level is important because if we are really moving down in an impulse, in an internal third wave, it does look kind of like that, then the market should hold below the 50% retracement. Now, I will have to consider something different if we break above the 50% retracement. What would be the different scenario? Well, I really don't have a highly likely bullish scenario or anything here. I really don't. But it could be Alt 1. And then this could be Alternative 2. Is it likely? No. Not based on the microstructure I'm seeing here. But above 105,836, it should be considered. But again, then we need 5 waves up above 105,836 and 3 waves down then we have an upside reversal pattern again. But in the short term, the pressure seems downward. If we're really moving down in a third of a third wave, the market should stay below that 50% retracement level now. At least we should avoid a decisive break above. So we might see another run into resistance and a rejection and then start of the next leg down and then another 4 and another 5, and it should take us into the blue zone one way or another. I mean, the microstructures might shift. For now, it does look kind of impulsive, even though the proportions of this 1-2, 1-2 setup up there, they are not ideal. I have to say that as well. They are not great. For now, this is how I'm tracking it. And for anything bullish, we need a 1-2 setup to the upside. I'm not talking about this questionable alternative 1-2 setup, because this is based on wave 1 as a 3-wave move. So we would want to have further evidence, at least a break above resistance and a subsequent pullback that holds a higher low. That's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.